All right. Beautiful morning, amazing morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, world. Wherever you're tuning in from, yet another wonderful edition of Wealth Secret Mindset Masterclass. Ladies and gentlemen, it's nice, and we are glad to have you back again today on today's program. Super excited to be your host, super excited to be here again. My name is Dr. Afolabi Olatunji. The truth is that maybe it's morning, maybe it's evening, maybe it's night, and I don't know what time it is in your own region or your own, country, but we want to say you are welcome. All right, so let's get started in today's program. All right, we begin yesterday on how to train your mind to achieve success. On how to can train your mind to achieve success, we're able to delve into some certain steps and principles. Okay, really yesterday, some certain principle on how you can go about training your mind to achieve success. And we talk about how the mind works, how great the mind is, how people get to lose big time on not knowing how to put their mind to work. And that's why this program is designed for everyone. That's why this program is built in a way whereby everybody is set to get value for their time. And this week, ladies and gentlemen, on our weekly teaching series on how to train your mind to achieve success, I'm going to show you today on the steps you need to take, the steps to be taken on how you can actually achieve it. Yesterday, I told the people in the class, I said, we're going to go deeper, all right? So it's going to be quite interesting, and I must tell you guys. So all I need you to do is to grab your notepad and pen and then pay attention, all right? So in case you're driving, you don't want to do that. You want to really pay attention. Just have your earpiece or your AirPlug plug in, and then just have it. We're going to make the video available on our YouTube page for you to watch it, and then you have your note, because you need to really have a note on this. So I want to begin by letting you to understand on how to train your mind to achieve success. There are different ways you can actually achieve this. We started, and that's why we put together a wonderful program, a wonderful class like this on how you can actually make this work. First, to me, I tell anybody the step number one on what you need to do is to have clarity on your goals. First, you must have clarity on your goals. You see, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first. What are your goals for this year? What are your goals for this month? And when we talk about goals, we dealt with short-time goal and long-time goal. What are your goals for the year? What are your goals for this month of April? Matter of fact, the month is just beginning. You need to set your goals. You need to get things working for you. Now, step number one is to set your goal. What are your goals? Get clarity on what you want. So step number one, like you said, get clarity on what you want. You have to begin by setting a goals. What are your goals? And those goals must also come with deadline. You must have a deadline to your goals. Okay, for example, you're getting clear on it, all right? So one is that you have to get it clear. And so you get clear on the exact amount or exact thing you want for yourself. Now, it could be anything. In this case, we're going to use, maybe we're talking about business. We're talking about the kind of amount of money that you want for yourself. So we might just be using that as an example this morning for what you need, all right? Because goal setting, ladies and gentlemen, is very important. As you're getting clarity on your goal, we said, number one is that you have to get clear on the exact thing you want, whether it's new business, whether it's relationship, whatever you want that is so most desiring to you, you have to set it. So step number one is to get clear on the exact amount that you want. So we're using money in this context, all right? In today's teaching, we're going to be talking about money and business, and you can also relate that to whatever thing that matters to you, all right? So number one, all right? So as you're getting clear, get clarity on the kind of goal you want, and then we encourage you to also, know exactly what you want as you're getting clarity on what you want for yourself. You see, the way to train the mind, or the way the mind works, the mind is like a navigation system. You need to tell the mind where you want the mind to go. You need to tell the mind what you want the mind to achieve for you. You need to let you know and say, my mind, I want you to go right. I want you to go left. I want you to go straight. That is the way the mind works. The mind needs a command. So you have to be the voice command over your mind. All right. So very, very important. All right. So get clarity on your goal and set the kind of the kind of amount of money or the kind of thing that you want for yourself as you're about setting your goal. So whether it's weekly, for example, using money now, whether it's weekly, what kind of amount of money you want to be earning in a week. I'll tell you guys, for me in this month, I've already put together that in my business, the kind of amount of money that I want myself, I want my business to generate for me should be nothing less short 50K. All right, in this month. All right. So, and I'm working tirelessly. So I put my mind to work and I told my mind, you have to obey this thing. So I got clarity on what I want. And I put the exact amount that I want in a week, and I put the exact amount I want it in a year, and I put the exact amount in a month as the case is. All right. So, and I already put it. If I tell you the kind of amount I want within before the year runs to an end, I already told myself, Afolabi, this what I want before this year runs to an end should be nothing less than $5 million. Should be nothing less than $5 million. How it's going to happen, I don't know. But I know that it's going to work. If I follow the steps, if I follow the principles required to make this thing happen, definitely I will do it. So the same thing is what I'm encouraging everyone here on this program or watching us live by our live stream to also do the same thing. All right. So you have to do that. Now, step number 2, ladies and gentlemen, step number 2, listen. Now, you need to create what I call a simple affirmation. All right. Step number 2, you create a simple affirmation. Now, the simple affirmation we've dealt about, and we've talked about affirmation on this program, sometimes last year. Now, it can be so simple. What I mean simple affirmation, don't make it too complicated. You go and you hit what you want. It can be like, I am so happy and grateful now that I'm now earning maybe $10,000 every month, for example, is this case. All right. If it is not money that is mostly, important to you, if it is anything that you want, in this, in this context with using money, right? Now, whatever that you think you desire. Now, I'm so happy and grateful now that I found, my wife. All right. I found, I'm graduating with a first class, I'm graduating as the best overall student in my own department. Now, it can be that simple. Now, but we're using money. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm now earning $10,000 monthly. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm now earning $10,000 monthly by maybe next month. It can be by April 31st, 2022. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm now earning $10,000 monthly. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen immediately. Now, it can happen immediately, and I'm not saying it's going to happen immediately. But what that does to you is that's why we're going to be talking about step number 3. But before I talk about step number 3, but I want you to write this thing down. Put a simple affirmation, whatever you think that you want for yourself. Remember, step number 1 said, get clarity on your goal. What is it that you want? All right. So it comes with your desire, and you get clarity on your goal. Set your goal. What do you want in this month? What do you want in this week? What do you want for the year? All right. It's like you setting a goal. Step number 2 now is to create a simple affirmation by saying, I am so grateful and thankful now that I'm now earning $10,000 monthly. That I'm now earning, maybe it's $1,000 monthly or $5,000, whatever thing that you think you desire. So that's step number 2. Now, as you are writing or you wrote down step number 2, one thing I want you to do is that you need to read this thing at least maybe like 10 times to yourself every day. Don't just write it down, because there are steps to this thing, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I tell people success is a global principle. It doesn't matter what country or where you are or where you live in. If you practice this thing, ladies and gentlemen, it will work for you. It has worked for me every time. I have my goals. I have my affirmation every day. In fact, I change it and it has really, really worked. So put it there. Put a deadline when you want it to happen. As you put in a deadline to it, then you need to read it to yourself at least 5 to 6 times every day. Now, I tell people like, why doing that? One of the things you want to do to make that happen, you see, you have to close your eyes. Like you have to close your eyes when rehearsing this thing. Oh, I'm so grateful and thankful now that I'm now earning $10,000, $10,000 in my business every month by April 31st, 2022. It can't be like that. The moment you do that, guess what happens? You're closing your eyes and you are mentally, visualizing this thing, like you mentally rehearse it. As you're mentally rehearsing it, you are now visualizing it. That is the essence of that closing your eyes. So you are now, visualizing this thing and the impact of this goal that you have written down on your life, or the impact of this money on your life, on your family, around you, the charity that you support, the people you sponsor in school, the widows you are supporting. You look at the impact of this money. Look at the impact of your goal around you, in your community, in your society, in your church, in your mosque, everywhere around you. You visualize this thing. You have to say it. You have to let me tell you what that happened. What that does is that it activates. Now, why you are doing it, one of the things you don't know is that it activates the left prefrontal cortex part of your brain. That's what it does. It activates it. It gets it working. It activates the left prefrontal cortex part of your brain. We call that part the genius, the Einstein, the CEO part of your brain. That's what it does. As you put that to work, one thing that happens is that you now get into a different mental movie. All right. You get into a different mental movie and emotions as if that is being real. So you get into a different mental movie plus emotion as if it is real. So in your mind, you are in a different world. Some people hearing me say, Afolabi, listen, it's like this is the money that most people buried in the book that most of us don't know. I have used this, it has worked for me. And I've seen mentors that I follow, they've used it. They say the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. They say the same thing. Use it and practice it, because if you don't use it and practice it, guess what happens? It's not going to work. You see, one of my mentors said, he said, you have to enforce things to yourself. All right. He said, until responsibility is taken, he said, greatness is never going to be certain. And he said, you don't wait for it. You have to go and enforce it to yourself. So guys, listen, this works. All right. Why do you think this works? He said, when you are waiting for a change, you are wasting your life. So the only thing that you need to do is to go out there and enforce it through. So you need to practice it. All right. So if you are the type that say, maybe you want to get a bonus steps to this, you can get a vision board. You can get a vision board to yourself. Get a vision board. And that vision board, you can put pictures of what you want. You can put pictures of your house. You can put it on your screensaver. You can put it on your phone. You can put it, things around you. It can be like anytime you open your phone, that's what you see. It can be that whatever you want, get a vision board, put it around you, so that when you see it, it gets you into another different level, all right? As it gets you into another different level, then that is when you now start seeing that things will start working for you. You see what I mean? So step number 4, or rather I call step number 3 to this, since you follow the step number 1, which is, get clarity on your goal, set the kind of goal, the kind of amount you want, and then also create a simple affirmation. All right, that is step number 2. Now, step number 3, ladies and gentlemen, which I call, you need to now start visualize plus believe. Visualize plus believe, and then you now start feeling it. You need to visualize plus believe, and you start feeling it. What does this mean is that you act as if it is real right now. You start going about having that feeling that it is real. as if you already have it, as if you already see the money in your account, as if things are already working for you. Every day, ask yourself, what can I do to make this amount of money? What can I do to go out there and make this thing happen for me? What can I do? What kind of activity I can get myself involved? What kind of business that can give me this kind of money that I want for myself? So, because that has primed your brain at first when you are visualizing it, because that step number 2 is very important. As you wrote that thing down, it's kind of prime your brain. So step number 3 is that you visualize, believe, plus as if it's real. So you are constantly looking for what kind of activity can help you ensure that you get this amount of money, or what kind of activity can make you be on top and achieve your goals that you have set. All right. Remember, we told you step number 1, get clarity on your goal. So you see, we need to be more practical, and we need to be more practical about the issues of our life. Very important. So every day you keep asking yourself, what can I do? And what can I do to make this amount of money, or to make this thing a reality for me? Now, the final one, ladies and gentlemen, the final one, which is I'm going to give you today, all right, is what I call you need to take actions. How can you say you're not going to take action? Like I share with you, I said, when you're waiting for a change, you say you're just wasting your life. So you go out there and enforce it. You need to take action on those things. Don't just wait there. Don't just say, Afolabi told us we should create a simple affirmation. We should get clarity on our goal. We should, tell the kind of goal we want, and then start saying those affirmations, and then we visualize it. And no, now you take action. So in taking action, you need to write down something, all right? So what you need to do is that, what can I do to take massive actions on these steps that I want to do? So when you write this thing down, so I'll tell you something to wrap it up here, is that you are taking a physical action plus a mental rehearsal with affirmation. So we are combining all the steps from number 1, a physical action plus mental rehearsal of the things of the affirmation you've created. I am so grateful and thankful now. A physical action plus those mental rehearsal of those your previous affirmation you wrote down, and then visualization of these steps, all right, of these things is what's going to make you to achieve these things. So step number 4 is so simple. It's not like you're doing anything. It's just the action part of you combining step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, and putting everything to work. That is what step number 4 is telling you. So ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to get out there. I encourage you to start seeing things work for you. You see, until we take massive action for our life, we are just wasting our life. So we need to enforce change for ourselves. Nobody's going to make it happen. Nobody's going to help you achieve this. And I'll tell you something, tomorrow, we're going to deep more or delve more or go deeper into step number 2, how you can create this simple affirmation. It's very simple. But yet, as simple as it is, it may not even be simple to achieve again. So we tell people, when you follow instruction, all right, you follow instruction. Until you follow instruction, that is when you start seeing manifestation of things work for you. But if you don't follow instruction, you are leading into destruction. All right, that is not going to be your testimony. That is not going to be your own portion. So I encourage you to get out there. Let's combine all the steps. Step number 1, get clarity on your goal. Very important. What kind of goal you want for yourself? Set a long-time goal, a short-time goal. It's good to know is that we are starting the new month. As we are starting the new month, set a goal for yourself. What kind of thing you want for yourself? It could be in your health, it could be in your academics, it could be in your relationship, it could be in your business or your career. What do you want? All right? You want more money? Then write it down. As you put it, make sure you put a deadline. And talking about deadline, we're going to be talking more about Habakkuk 2:2 tomorrow. How you can break it down, how it can work for you, all right? So we're going to do that. And remember what I told you. You need to visualize it, get and rehearse it, and get into a different thing, which I call, you get into a mental movie as if it is real. So it means that as you are doing that, reading it 5 to 10 times a day to your subconscious mind, what it does is that it activates the left prefrontal cortex part of your brain. We call that part the genius, the CEO, the Einstein, part of you. And then you need to now combine it by getting into a mental movie and rehearsing as if it is real, as if you already have the money in your bank account. And if you want to help yourself, get a vision board. When you get a vision board, put the kind of car, the kind of wife, the kind of, house you want to stay, the kind of island, the kind of thing that you want, the kind of company that you want, the kind of people or things you want for yourself. You can put it around you, or you put it in your own screensaver on your mobile device. And step number 3, ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up this morning, we say you need to believe plus visualize as if it is real. So that means you're looking for the kind of activities that is going to help you to achieve this. So don't deceive yourself. Nobody else can deceive you. You are the only one that can deceive. I mean, whatever anybody do, you can only deceive others, but you cannot deceive yourself. That's what I mean. All right. So look at something you can do. Look at business that you can do. Look at the things you can get yourself involved in. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter, or it doesn't mean because you set a goal to achieve in the month that the goal must happen. But one of the things the Bible said in the book of Habakkuk 2:2, he said, wait for it. He said, it will come to pass. He said, it's my tariffs. He said, wait for it because it's set for an appointed time. Remember, that is what he said. So it doesn't mean because you put a deadline, it doesn't happen, don't quit on it. Keep at it. And the step number 4, ladies and gentlemen, this morning is very important, is to take massive action. To take massive action means that you are taking actions plus mental rehearsal of your daily affirmation, and then you visualize it. Guess what? That is what seals the deal. So I want to congratulate you in advance and tell you that you are doing very well. If you follow these steps, ladies and gentlemen, you will start seeing that things that you think is difficult, after all, is not difficult at all. All right? We encourage you to get out there, make the day count. We encourage you to get out there to see that whatever thing you're doing, if you follow the steps, like I said, success is a global practice. It's a global principle. It doesn't matter what the kind of country, what kind of color, what kind of skin, what kind of ethnic or language. It doesn't matter whether black, brown, whether, whatever country, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a global principle. All right? Just believe and start practicing. You might want to give it a try from the things that we shared with you this morning. You might want to start setting those goals and follow those steps, all right, on how to train your brain to achieve, or train your mind to achieve massive success. When you train your mind, ladies and gentlemen, everything will start working for you. So I want to congratulate you in advance. I want to say thank you for staying connected on this program, and I hope you got value for your time this morning. If you don't get value, let me tell you something. Make the value come anyway. All right, that is very important. All right, guys, that is it from me to you.